Most people think kidney problems start with pain. They don't. In fact, many adults over 60 can lose a significant amount of kidney function before they ever notice something is wrong. And that's exactly why so many people are caught by surprise. Because by the time obvious symptoms appear, the damage may have been developing silently for years. But this isn't really about your kidneys. It's about your body's filtration system. The system that helps regulate fluids, remove waste, support healthy blood pressure, and keep the rest of your body functioning properly. And when that system begins to struggle, the effects don't always show up where people expect. You may notice less energy, more swelling, more fatigue, or simply feel like you're losing the strength, mobility, and independence you once took for granted. Many people blame aging. They blame stress. They blame getting older, without realizing their kidneys may be sending warning signs they've never learned to recognize. Today, I'm going to show you 5 subtle signs many seniors overlook, why kidney health becomes even more important after 60, and what simple habits may help support your kidneys before small problems become much bigger ones. So why do so many people miss the warning signs? Because kidney problems often don't begin the way most people expect. When something is wrong with your back, your knee, or your shoulder, pain usually gets your attention. Kidneys work very differently. They can lose a surprising amount of function before most people notice anything at all. And that's what makes kidney problems so easy to overlook. Because by the time obvious symptoms appear, the kidneys may have been struggling silently for years. The body is remarkably good at adapting. When kidney function begins to decline, other systems often compensate, at least for a while. Think of it like driving a car with a slow leak in one tire. The car may continue moving normally for quite some time, but that doesn't mean the problem isn't getting worse underneath. The same thing can happen inside the body, which means the earliest warning signs are often subtle. You may feel a little more tired than usual. Recovery may take longer. You may notice mild swelling in your feet or ankles, or simply feel like your energy isn't what it used to be. Most people don't immediately think about their kidneys. They assume it's stress, poor sleep, getting older, or simply having a busy life. And that's exactly why kidney problems can remain hidden for so long. Not because the body isn't sending signals, but because the signals are often easy to dismiss. And the longer those signals are ignored, the greater the chance that small changes eventually become bigger problems. The good news is that understanding the warning signs early may give you an opportunity to protect your kidney health long before serious symptoms appear. But to understand why these changes become more common after 60, we first need to understand what actually happens inside the kidneys as we age. So, what actually changes inside the kidneys after 60? The answer begins with something many people never think about. Aging affects every organ in the body, including the kidneys. Now, this doesn't mean kidney problems are inevitable. Many people maintain healthy kidney function well into later life. But researchers have found that certain age-related changes become more common as we get older. One of the most important involves blood flow. Your kidneys depend on a constant supply of blood to do their job properly. Every day, they filter waste, remove excess fluid, and help maintain the delicate balance your body depends on. Think of your kidneys like a highly efficient water filtration plant. For that plant to work properly, a steady flow of water must keep moving through the system. The same is true for your kidneys. They rely on healthy circulation to continuously filter and clean the blood. But as we age, blood flow to the kidneys may gradually become less efficient, and over many years, the kidneys may become less effective at handling the same workload they once managed with ease. But here's the problem. When kidney function becomes less efficient, the effects don't stay inside the kidneys. They can influence energy levels, fluid balance, blood pressure, and many of the systems people depend on to remain active and independent after 60. Most people never notice this happening because it usually occurs very slowly, not over weeks, not over months, but over decades. And that's why kidney health can be so deceptive. The changes often happen quietly, long before they become obvious, long before anyone feels pain, long before a doctor ever diagnoses a problem, which is why understanding the early warning signs becomes so important. Because the body often begins sending subtle signals long before serious symptoms appear. And the first signal many people notice isn't where they expect. The first warning sign may be one of the easiest to ignore. In fact, many older adults experience it every day without ever suspecting their kidneys could be involved, because it doesn't feel like a warning sign. It feels normal. It feels like aging. It feels like life. And that's exactly why so many people overlook it. Fatigue, not the kind that appears after a long day or after poor sleep. The kind that seems to linger. The kind that makes everyday activities feel a little more demanding than they used to. You may notice you tire more easily, need longer to recover, or feel like your energy never fully returns. Most people blame aging, and sometimes aging does play a role. But researchers have found that declining kidney function may also contribute to feelings of fatigue. Why? Because healthy kidneys do much more than filter waste. They help maintain the balance of fluids, minerals, and other processes the body depends on every day. When kidney function becomes less efficient, that balance may gradually become harder to maintain. And over time, some people begin noticing the effects: less energy, less stamina, less ability to do the things that once felt effortless, and that's where the real problem begins. Because fatigue doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects what you're able to do. You walk less, exercise less, recover more slowly, and gradually begin giving up activities you once enjoyed, sometimes without even realizing it's happening. The challenge is that fatigue is incredibly easy to dismiss. People assume they're sleeping poorly, working too hard, getting older. And that's exactly why this warning sign is often overlooked. Not because it isn't important, but because it feels so ordinary, which brings us to another warning sign that many people notice, but rarely connect to their kidneys. The second warning sign often appears in a place most people would never connect to their kidneys: their feet, their ankles, sometimes even their lower legs. It begins subtly, a little puffiness at the end of the day, socks leaving deeper marks than they used to, shoes feeling slightly tighter. Many people assume it's simply part of getting older, and sometimes it is, but healthy kidneys play an important role in helping the body regulate fluid balance. Every day, they help remove excess fluid that the body no longer needs. When kidney function becomes less efficient, that balance may gradually become harder to maintain. And for some people, one of the first places this becomes noticeable is in the lower body. The result may be swelling, especially around the ankles and feet. For some people, it remains subtle. For others, it may gradually make walking feel less comfortable, standing for long periods more difficult, or simply leave them feeling heavier and less mobile than they used to. Now, occasional swelling doesn't automatically mean there's a kidney problem. There are many possible causes, but persistent swelling is one of those signals that deserves attention, because it may be the body's way of saying that fluid balance is becoming harder to regulate. And just like fatigue, many people dismiss it. They blame standing too long, hot weather, getting older, without ever considering what may be happening beneath the surface. The important thing to remember is that the kidneys often influence much more than most people realize. And the next warning sign may be even more surprising, because it involves a number millions of adults check regularly, without realizing what it may be revealing about their kidneys. The third warning sign isn't something you feel. It's a number millions of adults check regularly. Blood pressure. Most people think of blood pressure as a heart issue, and in many ways it is. But the kidneys and blood pressure are closely connected. In fact, Healthy kidneys play an important role in helping regulate blood pressure throughout the body. Think of it like a partnership. The heart pumps blood. The kidneys help manage the balance of fluids and signals that influence how that blood moves through the system. When everything is working properly, the relationship remains balanced. But when kidney function begins to decline, that balance can become harder to maintain. And sometimes, one of the earliest clues appears as changes in blood pressure. And when that happens, the effects don't stay on a blood pressure monitor. They can influence energy, circulation, heart health, and many of the systems people depend on to remain active and independent as they age. This doesn't mean everyone with high blood pressure has a kidney problem. Far from it. High blood pressure is extremely common and can have many causes. But researchers have long recognized a close relationship between kidney health and blood pressure, which is why doctors often pay attention to both. The challenge is that many people focus only on the number itself. They try to lower it, manage it, monitor it, without ever asking why it may be changing, and sometimes the kidneys may be part of that story. That's why persistent changes in blood pressure deserve attention. Not because they automatically signal kidney disease, but because they may provide another piece of the puzzle. And the next warning sign may be even easier to miss, because it often appears during something most people do several times every single day, without giving it a second thought. The fourth warning sign often appears during one of the most routine parts of daily life, using the bathroom. Because healthy kidneys help regulate fluid balance and remove waste from the body, changes in kidney function can sometimes influence urination patterns. For some people, this may mean needing to urinate more often, especially during the night. For others, it may involve changes in frequency, volume, or routine bathroom habits. Now, changes in urination can happen for many reasons, and they don't automatically point to a kidney problem. But when these changes become persistent, they may be worth paying attention to, because the kidneys are closely involved in managing many of the body's fluid-related processes. And sometimes, subtle changes in bathroom habits can be one of the earliest clues that something is shifting beneath the surface. But the fifth warning sign may be even easier to overlook, because it doesn't appear on a scale, a blood pressure monitor, or a lab test. It appears in how well your body recovers. Many people notice that after 60, they don't bounce back the way they once did. A busy day feels more exhausting. Physical activity requires more recovery, and periods of fatigue seem to last longer than they used to. Part of that is normal aging, but healthy kidneys support many of the systems involved in maintaining balance throughout the body. And when those systems become less efficient, some people begin feeling the effects in ways that are difficult to describe. They simply don't feel as resilient as they once did, less able to recover, less able to adapt, less able to maintain the energy and stamina that support an active life. And over time, that loss of resilience can affect much more than people realize. You may become less active, less confident physically, less willing to do the things you once enjoyed, not because you suddenly became old, but because your body no longer feels as resilient as it once did, less able to keep up with the demands of everyday life. And that's what makes kidney health so important, because the goal isn't simply to protect an organ. It's to support the systems that help you stay strong, stay active, and maintain the independence that allows you to continue living life on your own terms for as long as possible. So what do all of these warning signs actually mean? The most important thing to understand is that none of them automatically mean you have kidney disease. Fatigue can have many causes. Swelling can have many causes. Changes in blood pressure can have many causes. And changes in bathroom habits can happen for many different reasons. That's why doctors never look at a single symptom in isolation. They look for patterns. And that's exactly what makes kidney health so challenging, because the kidneys often don't announce that something is wrong with a single dramatic symptom. Instead, the body may begin sending a series of small signals that are easy to dismiss on their own, but potentially more meaningful when they begin appearing together. That's why awareness matters, not because every symptom is a reason to worry, but because recognizing patterns may help people seek answers sooner rather than later. And when it comes to kidney health, earlier attention often creates more opportunities to take action. The encouraging news is that many of the habits that support kidney health are also the same habits that support healthy aging overall. They help support circulation, fluid balance, blood pressure, energy levels, and many of the systems that allow people to remain active and independent as they get older. Which means protecting your kidneys isn't just about protecting your kidneys. It's about supporting the foundation that helps the rest of your body function at its best. And perhaps most importantly, it's about giving yourself the best possible chance to remain strong, capable, and independent in the years ahead. So if you've recognized some of these warning signs in yourself, don't panic, but don't ignore them either. Because small signals are often easiest to address when they're noticed early. And the good news is that many of the most effective ways to support kidney health are also surprisingly simple. Which brings us to the most important question of all. What can you actually do to help support your kidney health after 60? So what can you actually do to help support your kidney health after 60? The good news is that many of the most important habits are not complicated. In fact, they're often the same habits that support healthy aging overall. The first is staying properly hydrated, because your kidneys depend on adequate fluid intake to help maintain the balance your body relies on every day. The second is paying attention to blood pressure, not simply treating it as a number, but recognizing that healthy blood pressure supports many of the systems that help your kidneys function properly. The third is staying physically active, because movement helps support circulation throughout the body, including the circulation your kidneys depend on to do their job effectively. And finally, don't ignore persistent changes. If you notice ongoing fatigue, unexplained swelling, changes in blood pressure, or shifts in bathroom habits that don't seem normal for you, consider discussing them with a healthcare professional. Not because every symptom signals a serious problem, but because early attention often creates more opportunities to take action. And perhaps that's the most important lesson of all. Kidney health isn't something most people think about every day, until a problem appears. But healthy aging is often shaped by the things we pay attention to before problems become obvious. The goal isn't to become obsessed with every symptom, or to worry about every change. It's to stay aware, to stay proactive, and to give your body the support it needs to keep serving you well in the years ahead. Because while we can't control every aspect of aging, we can influence how well we respond to it. And small actions taken today often have a much bigger impact than people realize. Because protecting your kidneys isn't really about protecting your kidneys. It's about protecting your energy, your strength, your mobility, your ability to keep doing the things you love, and the independence that allows you to live life on your own terms. So I'd love to hear from you. Before watching this video, had you ever heard that fatigue, swelling, blood pressure changes, and bathroom habits could all be connected to kidney health? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to the Aging Code. Every week, we explore the hidden changes that happen after 60 and what you can do to stay strong, active, and independent for as long as possible. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video about their kidneys.